Hello, folks. Welcome to today's football predictions on Betcraft. It's another very beautiful Sunday morning, and once again, we are back with our predictions. Always what we do, looking at football matches that are going on across the globe and getting the stats of these very games using the stats. And we always come up with our verdicts and predictions on each of these football games. Before bringing it forward for you, that's what we do. All right, always on a daily basis on this very channel. And today we have these games already lined up, and we're about to look at the matches one after the other. But one reason the opportunity to ask the first, you're coming across of our page, you're coming across our video for the first time, yet to subscribe, take our time to hit the button right now so that you won't be missing out on our subsequent games. I know that will always come up on this very channel on a daily basis. Also, remember to as well like and share, so that we'll get to meet more audience. All right. Without further ado, we head to the business of today, and we'll be starting with the very first match. It is an English Premier League where we'll have Tottenham who will be facing Southampton. Okay, and we'll be looking at the stats for each of these teams. And when you look at Tottenham, it is one victory and a draw in the last 6 matches, but have also lost to 4 games out of those 6 games that they had so far. And the way side, on the other hand, Southampton, on the other hand, have had one draw as well as 5 losses in the last 6 games that they had so far. All right, Southampton is the last team, the 20th team in the standings, and they've been doing poorly. And the last, when you look at how they fared on head-to-head base, you can see that Tottenham have actually managed to achieve 4 victories and 2 draws in the last 10 home matches. Okay, they've lost 4 games as well, and we Southampton on the other hand I've had just 1 victory and 2 draws, but I've lost 7 matches in the last 10 away games that they have so far. That tells you this is not the best side doing play from away. And on head-to-head basis, the last time both these met was actually in December of last year, and we saw Tottenham from away defeating Southampton by 5 goals to 0. That's a lot of goals out there. And this time around, Tottenham is playing from home, and we'll be looking to Tottenham will be looking to do well, to move quite clear from the relegation position. They're not quite in the relegation position, but they'll be looking to move further in the table. So we'll be expecting a win for the home side in this better one. So it is Tottenham to win out shortly. That's what for that very game. All right, and the next is in Spanish La Liga, where we have Sevilla who will be up against Atletico Madrid. All right, Sevilla have won 2 games and 2 draws, but have lost 2 matches out of the last 6 matches. And Atletico Madrid have won just once, and they've had one draw as well as 4 losses out of the last 6 matches that they had in the recent times. Okay, from home and away perspective, you can see that Sevilla have won 3 games from home. They've also had 4 draws, but have lost 3 matches out of the last 10 home games that they have so far. And away side, on the other hand, Atletico Madrid have won 4 matches from away. They've also had 3 draws as well as 3 losses in the last 10 away games. All right, on head-to-head basis, the last time both teams met was actually in December, and Atletico Madrid won on that occasion by 4 goals to 3, and prior to that we saw Sevilla play from home, beating Atletico by 1 goal to 0. That was in April. That was in February of last year. And in this very one, we'll be looking to the away side to achieve the result, seeing that the top 2 teams have actually slipped, losing some point. They'll be looking to use this very encounter to gain some grounds, and cover up the lost points for Atletico Madrid. So we'll be expecting the away side, Atletico Madrid, to win this very encounter. So it is a away win. That's what we expect for that very encounter. And it takes us to Italian Serie A, where we have Roma who will be facing Juventus. Another very very interesting match. And when you look at the stats for both sides, you can see for Roma it is 5 victories out of 6 and a loss. All right, they've been doing very well, winning 5 games out of the last 6 games that they have so far. And Juventus, on the other hand, have won 3 matches and a draw, losing 2 in the last 6 games that they have so far. All right, when you take a look at how these 2 teams perform from home and away perspective, you can see for Roma, these are they've been having fine results in the recent games. Seeing that the last 10 home matches that they have so far saw them winning 9 games out of those 10, and also had 1 draw. They've not lost a single match in the last 10 home matches that they have so far. And Juventus, on the other hand, have won 3 games. They've also had 4 draws, but have lost 3 matches. We saw them losing the last away game to Fiorentina by 3 goals to 0. That's a lot of losses. but we'll be expecting the home side Roma to not lose here. The last two meetings for both sides actually saw them playing out a 1-0 draw and a 0-0 draw. That was in September of last year. But in this one, we're expecting a Roma, the home side, to either win or draw and under 4.5. That's what we expect for that very game. Home win or draw and under 4.5. All right. And the next is in the French League One, where we have Olympique Marseille and who'll be facing Toulouse. All right, when you look at recent games for these two sides, we see Marseille have had 2 victories and 4 losses in the last 6 games, and the away side Toulouse have won 2 matches and a draw, also losing 3 games in the last 6 games that they have so far. On head-to-head performances for both sides, you could see for Olympique Marseille, it is 5 victories and 3 draws, and also 2 losses in the last 10 home matches. And the away side on the hand to lose have actually won 4 matches and 3 draws, losing 3 games in the last 10 away matches. Okay, on head-to-head comparison, we could see that the last time both teams met was in August of last year, and it was Olympique Marseille who had the better day on that occasion, winning from away by 3-1 against Toulouse. And in this very one, we'll be looking at Olympique Marseille to achieve a result against Toulouse, and we expect to see the home side winning in this very one. Okay, and the next game we have for you today is in Turkey. All right, Turkey Super League, where we have Fenerbahce who will be facing Trabzonspor. Okay, and for Fenerbahce, it is 3 victories and a draw. Also 2 losses in the last 6 matches, and the away side Trabzonspor have won 3 games and a draw as well, losing 2 matches in the last 6 games. Okay, all right. When you look at how these two teams fared from home and away perspective, you can see Fenerbahce have actually won 6 games and 2 draws in the last 10 home matches. They've also lost 2 matches out of those. We saw them losing out to Galatasaray in the last home match that they had, by 2-1. All right, but for away side of Trabzonspor, it is 1 victory and 2 draws in the last 10 away games that they have so far, but have lost 7 matches out of those. Okay, we saw them playing out a 3-0 victory against Başakşehir, in the last away game that they had. All right, but on head-to-head basis, you can see that last time both teams met, it was Fenerbahce who won, and Fenerbahce won the last 2 meetings between these two sides. But prior to those, that we saw Trabzonspor winning. But also, what I've mentioned is the fact that the last 4 head-to-head meetings for both sides have produced a 2-3 score line 3 times out of 4, and the other one being a 3-1 score line. So it means that these two sides always produce lots of goals each time they are meeting, and this match is quite important for Fenerbahce, seeing that they'll be looking to win the match to actually get some points to meet up with Galatasaray, who's actually topping the league at the moment. So in this very one, we'll be expecting lots of goals in this very encounter. So it is a minimum of 3 goals and over 2.5. That's what we expect for that very game. Over 2.5, that's our verdict. And that takes us to the last game for today. It is in Denmark Super League, where we have Viborg who will be facing Sonderjyske. All right, Viborg have won 3 games and a draw, but have also lost 2 matches. And away side, Sonderjyske have won just once and a draw, losing 4 games in the last 6 games. All right, and when you look at how they fared on home and away basis, you see Viborg have actually won 7 games and a draw in the last 10 home matches. They've lost 2 matches out of those 10 home games. And away side, Sonderjyske have had 3 victories and 2 draws, losing 5 matches out of the last 10 away games. And on head-to-head basis, you see Viborg won the last meeting between these two sides, which happened in October of last year. Viborg won on that occasion by 4-2. All right, we'll be expecting the home side also to win in this very one. So Viborg to win, home to win out shortly. That's what about it. And that brings our predictions for you today on Betcraft to conclusion. Wish you the very best of luck and hope your ticket goes green. Remember to play responsibly, as these are football games. Sometimes it may not be exactly what it presents. So be quite responsible. Do not put all of this, because we have lots of big odds in this. Don't put all of them in one ticket. You can decide to split it, maybe put in 2 or 3 in a particular ticket, and in that way you stand more chance of winning. All right, that being said, tomorrow is another day. We'll be coming up with our predictions right on this very channel. Do not miss out. But until that time, keep winning.